Hi, my name is Matt Geiger, and I'm applying to be the principal of Merton Primary School. I have 25 years of experience in education, 21 of those years as an administrator, 3 years as a middle school principal, 8 years as an elementary school principal in Racine Unified School District, and 5 years as an elementary principal in Cudahy. An additional 5 years, my last 5 years, I spent in Latin America, in Peru, on the Galapagos Islands, and in Mexico City, working as a school administrator for primary schools. My last one was a school of 500 students. As a leader, you're going to find me energetic, caring, and consistent. Every day, I like to schedule my day so that I am able to welcome the kids to school and welcome the teachers to school. I'm there nice and early. And then I like to do rounds in the classrooms and see how everything is going and say hi to the kids and make sure everybody's doing okay and offer my assistance where I can. And then I try to be out on the playground or at the lunch recess duty or wherever that is where the kids are. And then in the afternoon, I do some rounds and then I say goodbye to the kids and the parents and the teachers at the end of the day. As an administrative leader, you're going to find me a team player. I try to offer my unique skills in any capacity possible and do so in a way that is as helpful and team-oriented as possible. The next question is on what type of culture would I develop in the school? I see culture in two different ways. One, the general sense of what you feel when you walk in the building, and two, a professional culture. So the first part of the culture, I think you should feel that it's a fun, caring, and inclusive environment. One way we can make it inclusive and welcoming is for parents, so that when they enter the building, they know where to go, they can get their questions answered, and maybe they have some access to a refreshment or a place to wait, a comfortable place to wait. I think that helps welcoming parents to a school. Secondly, I think we could develop a series of spirit days once a month to develop a fun camaraderie experience for the kids. And thirdly, we want to encourage empathy and inclusiveness, and we could do that through grade level collaborative experiences so that our older grades are working with our younger grades to do some projects and things like that so that the students feel a sense of ownership and a sense of connection to the other students in the building. On the professional level, I feel like we need to have a continuous improvement culture. So a culture of continuous improvement. That includes for me, for my teachers, for the parents, and for the students. One way to do that is to allow access to professional development for the teachers and for the administration in the building so that they have access to professional development that is focused on the mission and the vision of the school. For parents, I think that to develop a yearly workshop schedule that would be on topics that would be of interest to the parents would be useful. And then for kids, Myron Dewick talks about different ways of assessing kids. And I think that the way that he talks about allowing kids to improve upon their work encourages the idea of continuous improvement. So those are the two types of cultures that I would like to see in a school. What message do my actions send to the school community? The first message that I'd like to send to the school community is a message of competence, that we are competent in what we do. When parents deliver their children to our school, we want to make sure that they feel confident that we know what we're doing. Second, for the children, I want to make sure that they feel that they are cared for. I do this by welcoming them to the school, being present in the hallways, being present in the classrooms, on the playground, and then saying goodbye to them at the end of the day. For teachers, I try to show that I care by being present in the hallways and the classrooms as well, and attending to any needs that they might have. Thirdly, high achievement. I think that the parents in Merton are very concerned about the high achievement of their students, of their children. And it's our job to push our teachers to use the best practices, teaching practices that they can, our children to use the best learning strategies that they can, and our parents to use the best parenting strategies that they can. My actions in what types of workshops do I provide to parents and what types of workshops do I provide to teachers will send a message of high achievement in our students. And also those meetings that I have with children, what type of message am I sending to them when I'm talking to them about their achievement in the classroom and what types of grades they're receiving in the classroom and on their report card and on different assessments that we have. So those are the three things that I think that my messaging needs to show. Decision making. Well, that is one of the main jobs that a principal has to do. Every day we are faced with a multitude of different decisions that we need to make. Many of them are quick decisions, such as are we having indoor recess, outdoor recess? There's a leak in a classroom. What should we do? I smell a dead rat in the heater. Quick decisions like that we make and we live by. And I understand that I have to make those decisions, and I try to gather as much input as I can from the people around me before making those decisions. But ultimately, I need to make those decisions. With more complex decisions, I can give you an example of one. We're deciding whether or not, we had 2 kindergarten classrooms, and we were deciding whether or not to open a third. Our superintendent at the time made a decision not to open the third. And then parents complained. He came to me and asked me to do something about it. And my answer to that was to take the parents through a Trago process. Trago is a decision-making process that tries to remove the emotionality out of a decision and to use a logical way of making a decision so that people, while they may not agree with your decision, at least understand the reasoning for your decision. And then you hopefully end up with the best decision for a complex problem. So he asked me to work with the parents on this. I developed a little small group of parents and teachers, and we worked through this Trago process. Ultimately, we came up with the decision that we would open another classroom, which was contrary to what the superintendent wanted to do. But after being presented with the reasons and the logical thinking, the school board and the superintendent ended up being pro what our decision was. So we need to use process to make big, complex decisions. The next question is on Jim Collins' book, Good to Great. And how do we keep a high-achieving school like Merton from resting on its laurels and not improving, continually improving? So what I see, the way to do this is to use a SMART goal process, a 6-week SMART goal process. The first 2 weeks are involved in gathering data and looking at the data and coming up with a solution or coming up with a way to improve what the data is showing. The next 3 weeks, weeks 3, 4, and 5, the teachers would use that solution in their classrooms and then collect data and bring data back on week 6. The data that they bring back on week 6, they collate and look at and decide, was this a positive change or not? And then they can celebrate or look for more continuous improvement. I see this as a positive way of keeping teachers focused in a school and continually looking for improvement. I picked 3 qualities about me that I feel help me in my job as a principal. 1, I have a passionate interest in travel and diversity and learning about different cultures. I also have an interest in learning languages. I've learned Spanish and also playing the guitar. All 3 of these qualities I use in my daily work as a school administrator. And when you hire me, you'll see how I use those.
Good night, Karn.